Good evening, parents. Good evening, students and staff. This is the last principals update of the academic year 2020-21. It's late. It's about 10:30 at night. Tuesday, clearly I'm still here working because there's a lot to do at the end of the year with all the preparations for starting back, especially with all the additional lateral flow tests and COVID procedures to talk to you about. But equally, it's a beautiful evening, a hot evening. And of course, I want to say to all of our Muslim friends and families and students, Eid Mubarak tonight. And I can hear lots of festivities happening today. I'm delighted that you've been able to celebrate that properly. So we're really happy to you. So this video goes with a letter which is very detailed, quite a few pages actually of lots of detail. So hopefully the video is a little bit easier to digest, but do take note of what is in the actual letter itself and the key dates and times. And also additionally, the lateral flow testing program for September. So to start with then, I'll go through, so I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone, but specifically to students initially and to staff for the hard work, determination and tenacity actually in making sure we get to the end of this academic year. And I remember being sat here a year ago talking about the difficulties of 1920 with lockdown and CAGs and all of that COVID going on, and hoping that 2021 would be easier. And in fact, I'm sure watching my staff leave on to their training tomorrow, how tired and hard worked they've been, that actually 2020-21 has actually been even harder than last year. Not unrelentingly, because of the situation with the teacher assessed grades and the absolute huge amount of work that was suddenly dumped and put onto schools to do. But again, a huge thank you to the team and to the staff for doing it. A huge thank you, and how impressed I was with the students working all the way through, and especially the year 11s and the year 13s, you know, working in uncertain circumstances and driving forward right up to the end. But also a huge thank you as well to you as parents for supporting your children through this time. I know you were glad to send them back to us. We were glad to have them, and now it's our pleasure to send them back to you for a few more weeks to have the holiday, to relax, and to look forward to taking them back in September. I can also thank you for your parent voice. It's really humbling to receive so many positive comments about the school and about what we've been doing over this last couple of years. So thank you for those. But also reassure you and give you my commitment that where those improvements are and things that we need to get right, we will do that and we'll continue to drive forward in that. And I just remind you that you can reach out to me at any point via principalpa@auea.co.uk or by my telephone number, which is 0121 380 0573, and I will respond to those. We really do thrive and like to enjoy to say that you said, and then we do. That's what we really want to get this working really well together. On that note, Ofsted, you'll be really pleased to know the Trust wrote to Ofsted a couple of weeks ago in June, asking them to say, please do come and inspect us at the earliest possible chance you can once inspections reopen in September. Clearly, we want to remove our requires improvement judgment from way back in 2018, and we know absolutely categorically that we are good with outstanding features, and we want to absolutely and excitedly demonstrate that to the Ofsted team. But we do need your help as well. Ofsted do highly value the views of parents, and yes, I thank you for your parent voice, but unfortunately Ofsted require it on their website. It is a pain. Unlike hopefully our quick and easy form to fill out, it is a quick form, but it does require you to register, and I know that's an extra step, but I really would ask for your help in that. The link is within the letter. It is Parent View. You can search for it on Google, just type in Ofsted Parent View and it will take you through. You put your details in and it will register it. But that's really important for us to get across that positivity that we have from our parents onto Parent View, please. They also take into account the number of parents that leave comments, and they consider a school with low numbers of parent comments on there to be a school which doesn't have a good relationship with the parents. And of course, hopefully we have that really good relationship. So please do put it on there. And of course, I can be biased and say, please be positive, because I want the school to be, recognised as not being all right. I know you want that for your child and the school that your child goes to. But at the same time, of course, you have that honesty, you have that ability to put your improvements on, but also you can send that direct to me anyway. And you know you can do that anytime. So thank you for that as well. A couple of other things just quickly. Free school meals. The Birmingham City Council have confirmed that they will be supporting those across the summer. So it's up to £60 to be received for those students, which is fantastic. And those vouchers will be winging their way across to you. It's called Sodexo is the company they're using this time, so please look out for them. If you have any issues across the summer, please do let me know, again via principalpa.auea.co.uk, and we'll sort out and try and sort things out across the summer for you and get that working. Again, also thank parents for their support and feedback in the recent COVID-19 survey that is sent out to get your views on what is happening since the government have announced, obviously since yesterday, of the relaxation across the country of the COVID restrictions and how and what that meant for AUEA and your child. And actually, I really was overwhelmed by the response, and more specifically from the consensus of the concern around caution, about the fact of wanting to continue to look after and protect your child, absolutely, from parents and families where there's shielding students within the those and shielding family members within those households, and the worry about that, and equally balancing up that around the normality and trying to get back to a sense of normality as well. I've taken all that into account along with the leadership team and the trust and the governors, and we've been really clear, and I've outlined it in the letter, but I'll just summarise for you now what we're doing. So the staggered starts will remain. That's worked well, and that's within the timetable now, and that's just to ease the congestion at the beginning and the end of the days, leaving both in AUEA and across the campus as well. Face masks will remain, but they'll remain optional. We will be advising, very much actually like supermarkets are doing at the moment, which is they are encouraged in those areas. We will be encouraging the masks to be worn on the corridors, along with the optional use within the classroom. Students will not need to have to wear them in the classroom, nor members of staff, but they are optional. But we would encourage students to wear them around as they're walking around the building, like we did at the very, very start back in March 2020 and afterwards. So that's where we are with masks. Going forward, then the one-way system will remain around school. Probably doesn't mean so much to you as a parent, but certainly to a student. Little bit of a tweak on there. You won't be required to walk one way down the corridors. The corridors will become two-way again, but we will still keep. I'll take a glass of water. We will keep the one-way system going up and down the stairs, the two separate stairs, because that just eases that congestion as well. The bubbles will finish. That's a positive both for the classrooms, which means you can have more freedom to move around your classes and do your different groups and your sets, which is great. But equally at the same time, it means that the whole bubble will not be isolating if a student goes down with COVID. Instead, we'll be using the new close contact procedures and reducing that right down to minimise the number of students that are out. In fact, actually, what was announced this week was a quarter of all students in the entire country this week weren't at school because of COVID bubbles. So that's just, really clear something we cannot continue into the new academic year. And finally, we're moving forward in terms of where we've got the hygiene, the washing of hands, that will all continue. The sinks will remain. We will be actively reminding students, but ultimately it becomes a self-policing and a self-operating process for that. And finally, things like assemblies and areas where we have what I suppose we term mass gatherings outside, but certainly internally under education, normal gatherings that we're allowed and always have been allowed to do. But of course, some parents have expressed quite right concern that if a child doesn't want to do that, or if they don't wish their child, especially in a household that's still got shielding people, could that be avoided? And the answer is yes. So we will be putting out alternative chairs and seating areas for staff and students who don't wish to sit as part of a main assembly. However, we're busy, we're running the school, we're running those assemblies. We will not have time to have a list to be able to say, you go and sit over there, you go and sit over there. We are expecting our young adults to make that decision, okay, as parents. So if you really want to ensure that your child doesn't do that, please sit with them, talk to them, explain how you feel, and request and say to make sure that they do, and they can go into the hall and they can say, please, I need to sit separately, and we will, of course, and the staff will facilitate that as well. So I hope with those new amendments, they will have a balance between being cautious, but at the same time allow us to get back to some of our routines and some of the freedoms that we want students to have around the academy. That links in specifically into the lateral flow tests. The lateral flow tests are occurring and are a required part of return to schools. Government DfE now guidance is that all students must undertake 2 lateral flow tests before they start back at school, and those lateral flow tests must be administered at the school. It still means the students will be doing those tests, but they'll be doing them in the school in the presence of a member of staff to support them. They'll also be recorded by the school and uploaded to the NHS as well as part of that process. They are compulsory, and without doing those, your child will not be able to return to school in September. I do appreciate that people have had worrying views about the lateral flow tests, and I'm happy to take those conversations and talk about the science of those for a long time, but this is absolutely categoric. They must do those 2 lateral flow tests if they wish to come back to school in September. The logistics of that are quite challenging. There's lots of different days coming in at different times. So all of that information is in a specific handout and program around lateral flow tests. I'm not going to go through it now. You'll be pleased to know I'm already at 10 minutes. I can see, which is certainly long enough for a principal's update video. I'm sure many of you have switched off by now already. But in case you haven't, that link will be on the website, in the letter, and sent to you as well directly, so you can see those test times. So please pay specific attention. Those testing times are before the first test, before your child will start back at the school, either on induction days or on their first main days as well. The last bit to talk about really getting ready for September is business dress, and to note then that Clive Marks, remind you, Clive Marks Kings Heath is our supplier. There's a 15% discount code which is available to be printed off, or an online discount code as well. Well, from the 10th, 11th of August, you could drop into AUEA and collect a hard copy of that voucher. They'll be available in the academy as well. So please do make sure you have the chance to go out and refresh those business dress, please, as students. They certainly would have grown over this time. Can I just highlight the PE kit as well, in the fact that the PE kit, you've got 2 choices. You can buy our professional sports kit, which is absolutely fantastic, really lightweight, really a high performance material. But you may also buy unbranded as well, and that simply is the case of black shorts, black socks, and a white or black t-shirt. But it's a plain white and a plain black t-shirt. We're talking the £4, the £5 jobs from Asda, from Tesco's, etc. It is not a branded top with Nike and big strap lines across the chest. We've seen a lot of that. We've seen actually a degradation in the PE kit over the last 12 months. With COVID, we've allowed a bit of flexibility because of the COVID situation, but that has to stop. And I just remind you and just reiterate the fact that if students are not wearing the correct business dress from September or the PE kit, I will have no choice but to send them home to go and get changed and come back. Now, clearly, I don't want to do that given the missed school, but I therefore really ask for your parental support in this before time. And often what your kids are trying to say for you to buy, especially in trainers and these t-shirts, costs more money than the cheaper plain black t-shirts and white t-shirts as well. So please bear that in mind. For year 9 parents, are you current year 9s this year moving into year 10? Please also note clearly that the uniform changes, I'm sure your son or daughter will have talked to you about it because they're excited about moving and feeling a bit older in the new suit as well. And again, that's available from Clive Marks as well. So please do get in contact if you've got any questions at all, either to admissions@auea.co.uk, that will be picked up by Helen Walker, or again through to myself at principalpa.auea.co.uk, and we will help you and support you in that. The last part linked into that, getting ready for September, is the resource fee. Now, you remember the resource fee was paid up front when you started year 9, and it's actually an annual resource fee that's paid staggered over time to ensure that it's not a huge payment at the start of your journey here with AUEA. That resource fee covers your lockers, it covers your printing and copying for your child, and each child will get £10 credit onto their printing card straight away in September. It covers their dynamic biometric card, which then has access to all of their rooms, has access to their photocopier, and also access to their food and beverage sales as well. So it's really important for that card in the lanyard. For the year 10 and year 11 students, it also covers your boots as well over those 2 years for your workshop, and along with safety specs PPE as well. And again, that's all detailed within the guide as well. So please can I ask each year group from year 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13, please, to make your payments online, and there's a link that's included within the letter as well to do that. We don't make a profit on that. All of that just goes directly into your resources for you for your courses as well. So thank you for that. So as we reach 40 minutes, which is a very long principals update, and I was about to head home for this evening, I just wanted to wish you a fantastic summer, a relaxing summer. I hope you spend time to be able to recover and refresh, and certainly as students to come back with energy and enthusiasm for the new academic year. And I look forward to working very closely with each of you and working very closely with you and parents into this next year as well. So take care, have a great summer, goodbye.